Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I've worked on leveling our Ancoan allies. See that? 5 times fast. Um, and I've also been working on some other things. Um, Recently, our guild. When I say our, I mean the guild that my demon hunter that you see here is in, my alliance guild. We got our AOTC the other night. We took down N'Zoth. So I can turn in the quest, which of beating N'Zoth to Magni. I'm gonna try and hold off on that a bit. You know, I'll try and actually show you guys, actually beating N'Zoth. But then again, I already did show that to you on my Horde Shaman. But I can always just try and just go to, like, if you guys wanted me to show it to you on this character, I could always just show it to you, like, in LFR or something, just to show you how it looks. It is interesting doing that fight on Heroic compared to LFR. I actually have not done Ny'alotha on normal. I've done LFR, and then I have been doing Heroic on both factions with both of my main characters. And it was just fun to be able to, like, rather than just have been carried to that AOTC, that I actually felt like I participated and earned that AOTC with my guild group. Like, we actually worked on it. We spent the entire night pulling multiple times to do it. We were just trying to learn, and we thought we were going to have to wait and put it off until, like, the next time we had raid night. But then, like, basically on our last pull of the night, we pulled it off. We beat him. So that felt really nice. I mean, I already had AOTC on the mount, but this time I felt like I had actually, earned it. Like, if I hadn't been carried before, I would have earned it then. And it was nice to be able to have helped out my guild mates, be able to get their AOTCs and get their mounts as well. So, also, and while that's been going on, if you want to take a look, I'm now up to 470. 43, getting close to 471. I actually do have a piece that would put me at 471. I got this in my chest today earlier, which would put me at 471, except that it puts me at 66 corruption. However, I am currently working on that because I finally got rank 15 on my cloak. Now, just pretend I don't have this. Like, in terms of where we are in the story, the Nashtar storyline, obviously I would not have received this cloak yet from Rathian, so pretend I don't have it. I'm just saying. Oh, the Naga commanders. Whatever. I got the, what was it? Was it this piece? Actually, hold on. Which one is it that drops from N'Zoth? Heroic. This, the shoulder piece. I got this shoulder piece to drop from N'Zoth, which is really nice because it has Eyes of Rage and Furious Gaze. So, doing really nice. We had the dungeon quest, where it's do 4 mythic dungeons in a week and you get a Heroic Ny'alotha piece, and I got the Vita Titan Shard trinket that drops from Ra-Den from turning in that quest. So I now have both trinkets from Ra-Den. I also have the fist weapon, but stupidly, I must have cleansed this by mistake, not realizing how much of an upgrade the corruption on it was for me, like the corruption that comes with it. So I'm going to try and get back to doing Ra-Den. Of course, I also need to, if I want to, hold on a second. I also need to get back to facing Ra-Den if I want to finish the quest here. This is the skip quest, which is defeat Ra-Den, Il'gynoth, and Vexiona 4 times to get the skip quest done. So I have to beat Ra-Den a couple more times in order to be able to do the quest. So hopefully I will get the fist weapon and replace it, swap the new one with this one and keep the corruption on it, even though it's going to obviously hurt me in terms of corruption levels. But that's why I'm going to also try and work on upping the corruption resistance, because they have actually been increasing the cap for the corruption resistance that you can have on your cloak here. Like, right now, it's 50 corruption resistance at rank 15. However, I've found out that the way you can increase the corruption resistance on your cloak now, because you can't get any more ranks, but you can increase the corruption resistance. You can do this by completing all 4 objectives in a vision, in either place, or defeating N'Zoth on normal or higher. So theoretically, you could get 2 of those things every week if you do a 5 chest clear, actually, in a horrific vision, or by defeating N'Zoth. So you could just try and join a group and do a normal clear or higher, especially if you have that on farm now, and you kind of just do that just on a weekly basis. So, anyways, so yeah, just to kind of give you an idea of where I'm at. So hopefully the rest of this quest line is going to go pretty smoothly, and I am hoping that doing the Eternal Palace, which I have been doing because I did get the rank 3 essence for that finally. But I'll be honest with you guys, I feel like I'm getting more value out of the Focused Azerite Beam than I am the Guardian of Azeroth from Eternal Palace. It just feels that way in testing, like I'm constantly having more value from the damage from that. Plus, this is on 1.5 minute cooldown, whereas this is a 3 minute cooldown. Now, it's really good for, like, single target boss fights, because for 30 seconds you have this thing just constantly bombarding your opponent. It just feels like I'm getting more damage and value from this because I can use this twice. In the time span, I can use this once. So, I don't know. I just feel like I'm getting more out of that. But, I mean, even the Azerite thing says it's a higher value, though it says this is a higher value, and it is good, but I feel like I'm just able to get a lot more out of this than either of these. But having these as minors, though, really good. It's just a matter of which major. And I have this to actually reduce the cooldown on the major essence. So I've been working on collecting other rank 3 essences, as you can see. I don't know if I'm ever going to get the rank 3 of this. I hope so. I'm working on that on my Horde character, but you have to spend a lot of time farming those... you have to spend a lot of time farming those spare parts in Mechagon. But anyways... What do you say we actually continue the Ashtar questline?
We cannot let the world fall to dust.
This is where you get the rank 2 for this essence, but obviously since I have rank 3, no big deal. Good work. While you were gone, Chandris and I have been talking, and I think she's found a promising lead for us to focus our efforts.
We all have our
Dore,
ghosts.
hero. Our new allies have proven to be quite resourceful. With their help, we have formed a new plan of action.
Indeed, Chandris.
The Sentinels stand ready.
We must seek out a powerful weapon to combat the Naga who guard the tidal conflux. I'm certain that such an object would be in the hands of one of Ajara's minions. Thanks to our new allies, we have tracked down the location of one of her handmaidens within the ruins of Zin Ajari. The journey will be quite dangerous. Thankfully, our allies will have a location nearby that we can use as a staging ground. I've marked the location on your map, so meet me there as soon as you can.
On your mark.
A little bit of lag there. Sorry, sometimes I just can't help but take in the scenery. Gosh, this... just beautiful. Oh gosh, I forgot to turn that off. I'm sorry. Hold on. NPC scan.
We often make camp here when venturing into the ruins.
Actually, I can leave that on.
I see you are well versed in this type of warfare. We are off of the main road and can easily reinforce this position.
There we go. Sorry about that. I didn't want that horn constantly going off while we're here. Because it will. Because you usually have rares constantly spawning.
I am listening.
Yes, this place will do nicely. It is easily defended and has safe access to the ruins. Zinashari, once the capital of Night Elf civilization, was lost during the Sundering. Queen Ajar betrayed her people and allowed N'Zoth to corrupt them, turning them into Naga. It has now fallen into ruin and chaos. We must see what it has become, maybe by the statue of Ajar, and maybe we can be able to see the Warbringers animation that shows all of this.
Goddess, watch over you.
We must remain alert.
We and Cohen are a small tribe. There are not that many of us remaining. This place was once overrun with Makura, before Ryutama. They tried to hide here from the Naga, but found the Makura. They fell, in battle, to the Kilkarok. If you wish to show your dedication to the Ankoan, become a force of vengeance in Utama's memory. Destroy the Makura. The Ankoan must contend with threats from not only the Naga, but also the horrors of N'Zoth. We learned early that if we allow his infection, even the smallest purchase, he will grow and corrupt everything. There is a great evil who is lingering near the waterway that flows through this place. It must be dealt with.
Never break an oath.
Slay the eye of the corruptor. Should be a problem. The undrowned will join the chorus. Listen to it. You were right to doubt them. The queen threatens the king. There is no way to win. Listen, listen. Open the gate, step into the abyss. You know what is the truth. It is but one of 1,000. You have only to listen. You were right to doubt them. Everywhere you look, the stars gaze back. You know their form already. You have but to listen. Yeah, he just keeps on repeating this over and over. Yeah, shut up. You know why I love being able to do that along with this is I can be able to go, I'm a firing my laser!
They can't attack that.
And then they're dead. I'm sorry, I just love I have 2 laser beams right here. Although I can also make a Kamehameha joke, but then again, I can just do that during the N'Zoth cinematic, so. Actually, let's go take care of the other quests before we turn this in. Huh. Hello.
It's too far away.
Yeah, you guys will probably end up seeing me as the DPS spec for a good chunk of the remainder of this playthrough. I know that for the majority of this playthrough so far, up to this point, I have been playing the tank spec, but because I've worked, quite a bit on improving the DPS spec for the betterment of my, guild raid group, and because I've grown into it so much more over the time that I've been working on it, trying to improve it. I've just had more and more fun with it, and I've gotten more comfortable with it. So, just give me a heads up in case you were enjoying seeing me do the tank spec. But then again, it's probably going to make things go a lot faster.
Get closer.
And you know what? I'm actually feeling like I have a lot more survivability now than I did before. And by the way, in case you're curious, I've also looked into acquiring a much more apropos MMO mouse and keyboard, so that I won't have to, so I can try and work on getting rid of my
target.
Hybrid, clicking type of style where I'm doing both keybinds as well as clicking, as you probably have noticed. Okay. Well, there's the statue. I should Chandra's.
never expected to set eyes upon this city again. Ajara. She sacrificed her people twice over. Once to the Legion, again to N'Zoth.
My sweet child, as a general, you should be familiar with sacrifice. A leader must ever serve the greater good.
Good? What good is there in trading your people's lives for power? In twisting them into aberrations?
Such a pity. It seems you do not yet understand. Not to worry. Very soon, you will.
I like how she has a wine glass.
When we finally strike her down. Come, we must push deeper into Zinajari.
Like, she's just very casually just sipping wine as she's telling us all this. Because that's just how she sees all this. This is no big deal. I can just lay back and drink wine. It's not like you're a concern.
Consider it...
Seriously? Seriously? Okay, you know what?
My life
There.
for
And now you both die. But I also want to say that I love how they made this work for both sides. So I've already shown you guys this whole thing on the side of the Horde. We're going through this place with Belisra, which makes sense. You know, she was a night elf. She was part of the civilization. And now here on the Alliance, we go through with Chandris, which makes perfect sense. I mean, Chandris has been around since Warcraft 3. When you first get to see the Night Elves and start the Night Elf campaign in Reign of Chaos, you see both Tyrande and Chandris. So of course Chandris would have also been around at the time, and then once we get into the raid, you have both Belisra and Chandris basically side by side because they both know what's going on. Like, they're basically our guides in this place because they're two Night Elves who have been here, you know, who were there long ago. And it's like, okay, they're putting their sides, you know, differences aside and, you know, the whole war thing to the side for now because they both understand what's at stake here.
I never...
And I like that.
Shot.
You must venture deeper into the city. Holding back the tide walls is not an easy task, even using the tide stone. The ebb and flow of the magical energies in the area are too inconsistent. We need to shore up our magical reserves, which requires mana batteries, if you will. The befouled elementals along the canal here are created with exactly the elemental cores that we need. The goal is twofold: clearing out the befouled elements before their corruption spreads, but also retrieving their cores so we can keep the water at bay.
Goddess watch over you.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer.
Huh. There's my twisted appendage. Yeah. It's real nice to have show up. It just does a ton of damage. Here's a few.
Can't attack that. too far away. I can't attack that target.
By the way, in case you're curious what my build is, this is it. Demonic Appetite, Immolation Aura, Trail of Ruin, Netherwalk, First Blood, Unleash Power, and Demonic. The Demon Hunter in our guild, who is like consistently the top damage, like he was the one that I reached out to try and see if I could learn from him to try and get better, and that was the build he ran. So I tried it out and it worked really well. Netherwalk is so good; it's such a great defensive.
What do you ask of the Waveblade?
You do Utama great honor by killing his foes. Another will take its place eventually. Like clearing weeds from a garden, it's a constant battle against invasion.
My clan
I am
will
listening.
survive.
How goes your hunt? We will get these back to Admiral Proudmore. These spirits, they are the Highborn. They were those Ajara held close. Ajara often played favorites, but these people, they were her favorites. I do not know why their spirits are here. We should investigate further, see if you can communicate with them, and find out why their spirits cling to these ruins. How could she abandon them? This was once a place of great power. The Highborn who lived here would host lavish parties, living in splendor. Zinajari was once on the shores of the Well of Eternity and drew powerful mages from all over the Empire to study here. I suspect despite the many years at the bottom of the sea, there are still treasures and powerful artifacts hidden away here. Speak with the spirits that remain and see what you can find. There must be something to help us overcome the Guardian of the Tidestone.
On your mark.
East. I keep hearing rumors about the Queen's next event. Huh. How long have you lived here? I've lived here my entire life. I am proud to be Highborn. Are there any handmaidens of Ajara nearby? She just ignores me. Why am I not surprised? They'd be like, "Huh, you don't matter. Away with you." An aristocrat. Oh gosh, here we go. Do you know anything about the artifacts here? Well, Zinajari is the home of many noble estates, most of whom collect objects of great power, only after our queen has no use for them, of course. Are you aware you're dead? Okay. Do not say that option.
Can't attack
Because then I
that.
must kill them. Ooh. There's text right here. Text found. Looks like there's another one over here. Oh, sorry. I skipped that by mistake. My bad. Here's the text. Whoa, that just skipped it really fast. I did not really try to skip that. Okay. Well, I've released them. I need to question one more and find another text. There's a text right here. There we go. Fine. I didn't want to do this, but you left me no choice. Ooh, hey, I got the benthic gauntlets and some mana pearls. Yay! Huh. I'll take it as a transmog, sure. Excuse me. Yes, yes, what is it? Well, if it said something there, it just kind of automatically skipped it, so... My bad. I guess we're heading back this way.
Browse at your leisure.
And that is how I keep my bags so clear and empty.
I never miss a shot.
I feel such sadness for these spirits, eternally locked to this place, reliving the worst day of their lives. Yeah, it's kind of what we experienced with the spirits in Azuna back in Legion. Just kind of stuck in that time period. The javelins of Ajara? I've never heard of such an item, unless they mean the javelins of Surumar. And that would be a wondrous find. The information that you've gleaned concerns me. These spirits cling to this place because they still, even now, believe in Ajara and her reign. She sold their lives to the void, and they still believe in her. I know we have concerns that outweigh this, but I cannot leave them here like this. Show them, confront them, and tell them of Ajara's betrayal. Ajara always did need everything to be about her. Everything had to have her name on it. Everything was for her glory. She forgot our people's connection to Elune. Or perhaps she believed it did not matter. I mean, she did kind of fall for Sargeras. Like when she first saw Sargeras, she was like, huh, you could be a good match for me. Seriously, that was kind of her reaction to Sargeras. Ajara and her minions have too long defiled this place with their heresy. Let us show them Elune's vengeance.
Consider it done.
I like how the music here took a very Night Elf feel to it.
Beware, champion. That creature's meek appearance belies its deadly strength. Strike it down with all of your might.
Ah, the world boss. It looks like there are plenty of players doing this, so... You know what? Sure. Let's join in. World boss time!
Run.
Let's see how much I can contribute to this world boss. Of course, you won't see any of the players here on the damage meter because they're not in a group with me. It only shows me unless I'm in a group of people. Now, maybe there's a way to change that, but I haven't learned how to do that. I haven't learned all the intricacies of how the damage meter and stuff works.
It's too far away. I'm out of range. I need to get closer.
Watch your step.
It's too far away.
Run.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer.
Watch your step.
It's too far away.
Run.
Oh gosh.
Watch your step.
I'm out of range.
Run.
I need to get closer.
Watch your
It's too
step.
far away.
Another walk.
Run.
I'm out of range.
Many of our warriors belong to that fiend. I thank you on their behalf.
Alright, I got 10 more mana pearls out of that. Alright, so actually before we do the Ghosts of Elunar, let's go ahead and do this Purge Their Forces. This entire city must be purged. What? I mean, come on.
I need to get closer.
I had to make the joke. You guys know how much of an Arthas fan I am. I mean, the quest text is literally purge. Purging the defilers.
It's too far away.
Hashtag Arthas did nothing wrong. As I said during my Warcraft 3 Reforged playthrough, people to this day still do not know the difference between Arthas and Death Knight Arthas. That they were two separate beings. Nope, just blame Arthas and everything. But then again, I've also said the same thing about players not understanding what happened with Kerrigan and the Queen of Blades.
I'm out of range.
Since the Queen of Blades was an entirely separate entity
I can't
from
attack
Kerrigan.
that target.
But that's why I've entertained the idea of redoing my playthroughs of the StarCraft campaigns. One, to be able to extensively talk about them more, having now learned more when it comes to what has happened, and what happened in, outside of the games in terms of the extra stuff, like the stuff about that I found out about Raynor and Tychus. Oh my gosh, I would love to share that stuff that during a replay of the Wings of Liberty. That's one reason. The other reason is, of course, as I mentioned, when I did those playthroughs, especially StarCraft 2, I did them on my previous PC, which made it where I had to run the game and record it on, like, medium settings. Like, just above low settings, because, well, that was pretty much all I could manage on that machine. Whereas on this machine, I've been able to actually run that game, like, on extreme quality, and not really have any issues. So I would like to be able to actually show you guys that campaign on, at a higher quality, basically.
For Queen!
And if I can then be able to also add some more that I didn't have before. Plus, we would be able to actually discuss, Legacy of the Void in the past context, or rather the context of, we know what happened, so let's talk about it, discuss it, as opposed to when I basically had done all the campaigns before Legacy of the Void came out, and then, like, recorded it, like, when it launched. so that you guys caught my genuine reactions to what was going on and happening in the Legacy of the Voids campaign, as well as the campaign that happened afterwards. But here I am talking about StarCraft.
Can't attack that target.
Warcraft. But hey, it's a Blizzard game, so it's not like Blizzard has never, had stuff about their other games, as like references or or such in their other games as well, right? Oh. Okay. No. I was like, ooh, what's this? And then I realized, oh, that's Horde. If I attack that, because that's Horde Vanguard, I would be flagged for PvP. No, thank you. I do, I don't care if I'm a DPS Demon Hunter who's has 470 item levels. I don't want to do that. The only reason I would consider that, only reason I would consider that right now, is these right here. These are essences for your heart that you can only get if you do PvP stuff. This one you get for doing Battlegrounds. This one you get for doing rated PvP, I guess, arenas, maybe? I don't know. And then this one is for doing War Mode. So, like, I've heard a couple of those are pretty good to have. And I've just been like, nope. Not doing it. Now see, this is where it does feel like that place we went to back in Azuna. With the ghosts who were like stuck in that time period. Like some of them were like professors and they thought I was a student there. Hello there. Our queen will save us. Do not lose faith. She already abandoned you in the city. You lie! Queen Azshara serves only herself and her old god master. Queen Azshara will do what she must to save her people. She must have her reasons. They won't listen. I know you mean well, Demon Hunter, but like many of the spirits here, they refuse to admit the truth. Admitting that Azshara's pride and vanity destroyed them when they worshipped her, they would lose everything if they admitted that she allowed them to die. I might know a way to free them, if you would be willing to help me. Many of the spirits who haunt Zinajari do not know if they are dead. They will not admit to themselves. We might be able to help them if you're willing to help me. I was once like them, stuck in a loop and waiting for Azshara to come and save me. Our spirits are locked to this place. There are Naga in the other parts of these ruins. They have these magical orbs. I think they are using us to fuel their arcane experiments. They draw power from our spirits and our worship of Azshara. This keeps us weakened and unable to break free. Destroy the orbs. Breaking the connection will allow us to gain strength and move on.
For Queen Azshara!
And then she died. By the way, do you guys know that I've done full clears on Heroic with this character in Eternal Palace, both as the DPS spec and the tank spec? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that I could be able to tank, the LFR, and plus it'll be easier to get into LFR as a tank spec. Plus, I've not only been collecting essences for the DPS spec, I have been collecting them for the tank spec as well. After all, with the new account-wide essence system that they added, where once you unlock a rank 3 essence, you can acquire it for any role, as long as you have the Echoes of Nyalotha to purchase them from Mother, then it's been like, okay, so I unlocked it, and now I can just purchase it with, for the other spec, because it's actually relatively easy to just, keep collecting echoes. If you do mythic keys, if you do the assaults, you do the horrific visions, you're constantly going to be getting echoes in Iolotha. So it's actually pretty easy to acquire those echoes to be able to do that. Where is this third one? Because I was looking for it and I couldn't see it. And the world boss is back up. Yikes. Let's get back down there. Okay, maybe this way. Up ahead. Stop him! Catch me if you can. Whee! Laser beam! Other laser beam!
I need to get closer.
I mean, come on. That's never gonna get old. It's one thing to have I-beam. It's another to have I-beam and the focused azurite beam, and to basically have 2 lasers. I mean, how can I not be like, I'm a fire at my laser every time I do that? It's so much fun. Especially when it just melts your opponents. It just melts my enemies. So great. I'm pressing the wrong button. Oh, wait. Yeah, I gotta go back down to that ghost here. Oops, went the wrong way. I do not remember doing this particular quest as Horde, though. Maybe I did, and I just don't remember it. Without the draw of energy, I believe that the other spirits will eventually be able to break out of their loop. They will be able to move on. Alright, let's go turn in the other quest. They defile this holy place. Yikes.
The sentinels stand ready.
Elun's vengeance is swift and fierce. Well done. These spirits keep speaking of the javelins of Ajara. At first I believed that it to be referring to the handmaidens who are currently holed up in Elunalore, but now I think they are referring to the javelins of Suramar. They were powerful weapons, long thought lost. Ajara does like to claim things as her own. We need to defeat her handmaiden in Elunalore regardless. Seizing the javelins would be an amazing stroke of fortune. If I recall, I believe the handmaiden here is one of the raid bosses.
Goddess watch over you.
But we will find out. Or maybe it's just this elite here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not one of the raid bosses. Yeah.
Queen
Oh well, doesn't matter.
chosen me. I will slay you in her.
Zoom.
It's too far away.
My queen.
Thank you.
Hear me.
That was an elite, and I melted her. Gosh, I like being this strong.
I am listening.
Uh-oh. Killing our handmaidens will drive the Naga back and out of Zinajari. Killing a handmaiden alone would have been an amazing victory. Retrieving the javelins of Suramar as well? Today is the turning point. Today we have created the path to victory. Oh, by the way, my heart is up to 5. I saw 507. Now 57. My Heart of Azeroth is now up to level 87. And it has an item level of 507. The javelins are some of the most powerful magical creations of Suramar before the Sundering. This is just what we need to bring down the wards on the Protector and the Tidestone. We must hurry back to Mesamir. Lady Proudmoore needs to know of our success. This will change the entire course of our campaign here in Ajatar.
On your mark.
We go where the current leads us.
Whee! I have actually seen the boss over here, Soundless. He was kind of flying over there, and I just kind of soloed him because he dropped some mount, and I was like, oh, so you're the Soundless that I've been hearing so much about. No pun intended. I know, I realized how that sounded once I said that. Again, no pun intended there. The sound puns. Unintentional, completely.
The time for dreaming is over.
This is an amazing find. With this, we can assault the Guardian of the Tidestone and secure it. We are out of time. We must gain control of the Tidestone of Golganeth, and the Javelin is our best shot at piercing the barrier surrounding it. The Guardian is formidable, but must be defeated if we are to take the fight to Ajara. What forces we have will be arrayed below, just outside their encampment. I would trust you with the Javelin of Suramar. We will need your strength in the coming battle. I mean, I would think so.
A single spark. Very well. Gen will gather our troops. We will meet you near the Tidestone.
Alright. I will meet you both there. Sorry for sounding irritated. I'm not exactly looking forward to working alongside Greymane. I wonder what if they're gonna do anything with him going forward in Shadowlands, because based on what we have seen so far, now maybe there's a bit more they'll do.
Ah, champion, you've arrived. Perfect timing.
We plan to secure the Tidestone. I advise you to stay
Hi, Lord
out of
Lamar.
our way.
Hi, Thelisra.
This is our best opportunity to seize the Tidestone from Ajara's grasp.
Their champion holds the Javelin of Suramar. We should hear what they have to say.
Oh. Alright, so what I was saying was that based on what we've seen so far and what I know of so far, they really haven't progressed that much of Greymane's character to the point where I would actually consider whether or not he is actually going to be in a good position as a character, where he's actually likable. Sorry. Where he's not as much of a warmonger as he was in Stormheim, and to a degree in this expansion as well. They have been trying some things to try and make Gen better, but I'm curious if when Shadowlands comes out, if they're going to do anything with his character. Now, there is something that happens at the end of the expansion after you turn in the quest of defeating N'Zoth. Now, obviously, I have that quest ready to turn in, where I'm going to be able to show you the cutscene that happens, and it's really important to set the stage for where we're going to be at in terms of the faction war going into Shadowlands, because of two of the characters I've been harping on about for a long time on the Alliance. But I'll show that to you when the time comes. But my point is that you know how the writers will usually tend to focus on certain things and ignore other stuff in certain expansions? Like, we had a huge focus on certain things in Legion, like the Draenei and Vel and other things. And we basically have completely ignored or forgotten about those things in this expansion to focus on other things. You guys get where I'm going with this, right? They'll tend to forget about other things to focus on certain specific things each expansion. So I'm just wondering if they're actually going to do anything with certain characters and their arcs and their growth and character development in the upcoming expansion, or if they're just going to simply forget about them this expansion. We don't want to do anything with them this time in this story. So we'll see. So few, but we are strong. We must prevail. Are you ready to begin the assault? I'm ready. Sound the advance!
Careful who you trust.
Jaina, our troops stand no chance against the Tidestone's guardian. Lorthamar and I will deal with the rest of the Naga while you confront her.
Our
Look at you again, willing to work alongside
must
Lorthamar.
ensure it strikes true. First Arcanist, if you shield me while I attack, we stand a better chance of succeeding.
A sound plan. We face a formidable foe.
Coordination between our forces is the best strategy. But know that any duplicity will be met with retribution.
But see, this is once again an example of when the Horde and Alliance unite their forces, they become a better matchup working together than they do fighting each other. Thalyssra and Jaina working together, that makes perfect sense. They're both extremely skilled and talented, magic users. So of course them working together makes them even stronger, as opposed to fighting against each other. Same thing with Lorthamar and Greymane. Of course they're going to be a better duo when they work together alongside as opposed to actually fighting each other. That was one of the big points of what it has been in the big theme going back to Pandaria through Warlords and through Legion. Because yes, Warlords was actually an integral part of the theme of when the Alliance and the Horde combine, they can be able to overcome all these incredibly powerful foes that have constantly been trying to kill us over all these years. And then we just revert back to this let's kill each other thing, which is so stupid. But when you have these moments like, all right, let's work together, it just shows how, how strong we are when we are at a unified force against a common foe.
Champion, with me. I would have you by my side when we take the capital. I can't attack
As you
that
wish,
target.
Greymane. Your champion does not frighten me.
Oh, Lorthamar, you know I love you. But are you sure you'd want me at your side again? Not exactly a fan of yours.
I can't attack that.
By the way, in regards to my build, I've also been noticing some of the upcoming changes that they've been talking about when it comes to what they plan to do in Shadowlands. And I gotta say, I'm kind of looking forward to some of those class changes. Like, they're gonna make Immolation Aura a baseline thing. The tank spec is no longer going to have Pain as a resource. It's going to be Fury, which I find hysterical because there were people that when they found out the resource for the Demon Hunter tank spec was called Pain.
We never had the honor of facing one another on the battlefield.
How fortunate that we never did. It would have been a waste to kill you.
Huh. I like how Greymane's like, it would have been such a waste to kill you. Because you're actually, a pretty great fighter. That was Greymane's way of trying to compliment Lorthamar, saying, oh, it would have been such a waste to kill you.
I can't attack.
It's a very, it's sort of a backhanded, insulting compliment, but it's still a compliment nonetheless, because it's Greymane's way of complimenting someone on the Horde.
I can't attack that target.
But I do like that Lorthamar is also saying that from the sense of he would have wanted to face him simply from the standpoint of, competition. As he likes a good fight, and he thinks that facing Greymane on the battlefield would have been a great fight just for the the honor of facing a formidable opponent. That is a thing, and I can totally understand that, especially coming from the likes of Lorthamar. And even from Greymane, to a sense, even though Greymane, I don't know if I would call Greymane a warrior.
Closer.
Because,
I'm out of range.
he is a king, and I would have expected that he has spent more of his time actually being, a bureaucrat or an aristocrat or whatever, dealing with politics and such, as opposed to actually being a military leader or warrior, even though he has had experience in that regard. But yeah, I would put my money more so on Lorthamar as a warrior on the battlefield than Greymane.
Our forces will deal with the remaining Naga. Let us take the fight to their leader.
Easy prey!
Bring them all on!
It's too far away.
Now, champion!
I'm out of
Hurl
range.
the javelin!
I'm a little busy, Jaina! I have a number of forces I have to deal with here.
Can't attack that
Okay.
target.
Now I'll throw the javelin. Oh, is that your let's dance stance? Because I'll gladly dance with you if you want a dance partner. Hey.
It's too far away.
It's alright, Jane and Thalysra. I got your backs.
Merely
need to get
glimpsing my
closer.
queen's visage would strike you blind.
Yeah, you'll think differently once I actually take your queen down.
It's too far away. I'm out of range.
It's always funny how they're always like, you will never beat our leader. You'll never beat our master. And then we do beat their leader or master in the raid.
You shall all drown.
Sure. But then again, we do get buffs in the raid that don't let us drown, so... And of course, if you're an undead on the Horde, well, you don't even have to concern yourself about that.
Nazjatar will be your grave.
Yes, twisted appendage. Yes.
To get closer.
No!
Can't attack that.
Cannot fail my queen.
A long road lies before us.
Quickly, the Tidestone.
I know what...
Azshara's forces are routed. We have broken her hold on the Tidestone.
Our way into the palace remains blocked.
The Tidestone's power could be used to shatter the barrier, but I cannot control its energies on my own.
Perhaps we could. Together.
So be it.
See what I mean?
It is done. The way is open.
Azshara's reign must end.
And I'll show you how cool that actually works when it comes to it being an actual raid entrance. There's the new Flight Master location.
The true battle.
And now here's the quest. We have opened the way to the palace. We must end this. Queen Azshara is the most powerful sorceress in existence. She mastered magics thousands of years before our arch-magi were even born. Still, we must prevail. If not, she and her dark patron will remake all of Azeroth to their desires. Champion, We must defeat Azara. Are you with us? Of course.
The Alliance will endure.
The Horde's champions will drive every last Naga from the palace. Azara will pay for what she's done.
Alliance heroes will dethrone the would-be queen. We won't seek a fight with you, Lorthamar, but we will not abide interference.
What have we here? Bitter rivals standing united around my Tidestone. I really do possess a gift for bringing my subjects together.
You can't stop us, Azara. We are coming to end your reign.
Stop you? My dear child, why would I want to stop you? Consider this a formal invitation. My palace has been made ready. Your presence is eagerly anticipated. So many wonders lie in store. Such magnificence.
Oh, Azara. And this is so much. I keep making this comparison, but I can't help it. This is so much like when the Lich King was basically like, yes, come into Icecrown Citadel, please, by all means. Send your great champions to my frozen throne. Please. I informally invite you inside. It's so similar, and I love it. Like, they really wanted to kind of like bring back the echoes of what it was like in Wrath in Icecrown, where you constantly had the presence of the Lich King throughout. And then he's like, yes, by all means, come into Icecrown Citadel. It's so similar. It's great. I love it. So let me show you guys what it's like when you try to go to this actual entrance for the raid. So obviously it's a little rough trying to do so if you're on the ground, but if you have flying unlocked, you just head over here. Just kind of go into the water. I'll just drop into the water. Go down a little bit, and then all of a sudden, I'm not doing this. I'm being sucked down this, vortex, and then whee! Look at this. Behold. Eternal Palace. And here's the actual entrance, and there's the meeting stone right there. And you cannot enter without a raid group. And if you want to just simply go back out, just use this, boop, and you get teleported back to the tidal conflux right here. Isn't that awesome? I love that. So, what else was I going to mention? I was going to mention something else. I actually don't remember what I was going to mention. Yeah. We now have the quest to go defeat Azara in the Eternal Palace. So, I could probably do a normal run. It would be a very long video if it was a normal non-stop run of the raid with the long fights. I'm not going to do heroic. Now, the thing is, though, as you guys probably know, sometimes when you try and do heroic or normal runs, and if there might be a wipe or two, people just leave and all of a sudden you're the only one there. Which is why I like LFR in terms of just trying to do this, because if people leave, it immediately just fills the gaps. And me being a very highly geared character, I do drop a few item levels when I switch over to the tank spec, because the pieces I have for my tank spec are not as, like I have one 475 piece, but I have like 3 for my DPS spec. So I do drop a few levels as the tank spec, but it's really not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things, especially if you're just going to do the LFR difficulty. And I've gotten pretty familiar with these fights in this raid when it comes to tanking them. So the only fight that's that's kind of tricky for me to still get a grasp on when it comes to tanking is the Queen Azara fight. So I'll try and see if I can study up on that a bit more, just to try and make it a little bit more clear. But usually on the LFR difficulty, it's not that devastating compared to what it's like doing that fight on Heroic. I have yet to attempt this raid on Mythic. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that our guild got our AOTC. Our plan that our raid leader discussed at the end is that we are probably going to try for Zoth and Carapace and such again, because now we want to get Heroic Nilotha on farm, and then he wasn't sure what to do after that, and I told him, well, why don't we try for some other things from some previous tiers? Like, what if we tried Mythic BOD and tried to go for the Mythic Jaina mount? And he was kind of okay with that idea. I even suggested, look, Mythic Uldir is also like 385 item level drop when it comes to the gear it drops. So heck, we could even try do Mythic Uldir just to at least get the achievements that we beat that raid on Mythic or whatever. So, but we'll see. It would be awesome to be able to get that Jaina mount before the next expansion comes out, where then the drop rate of that mount is going to go down to like 1%, whereas right now it's a guaranteed drop if you actually beat Mythic Jaina. But that's the tricky part. That's the hard part, is actually beating Jaina on Mythic difficulty. That's the hard part. So anyways, more than likely in this playthrough, when we return, I will be showing you guys the Eternal Palace raid. More than likely in LFR. I might consider... I'll consider trying to do a run maybe on normal, because I know some people will still try and do normal or heroic runs to farm the essence, as well as the trinket from Lady Ashvane. Spoilers. She's in that raid. But I'll figure it out, and we'll see what happens when we come back. Stay tuned.